Howdy, Joe Gilder from HomeStudioCorner.com here. I want to talk to you a little more about Studio One, specifically these two buttons right here. If you hold over them, you'll see one is the Record Enable button, which is in every system ever created for recording. That turns the track on, arms it to be ready for recording, right? But this one is, oh, look, it works. Okay, this one is the Monitor button. This is a really cool feature, especially, raise your hand if you used to use Pro Tools LE and had used an HD system that didn't have this feature, or that had this feature, and then you go back to LE and you can't use it again. Super annoying. So the way this works, normally under normal, when you first open up, Studio One, and you want to start recording, when you hit the record button, it actually turns both of these on. So it automatically both record enables and monitor enables the track. That means you are hearing what's coming through that track back out your main outputs. Okay? One way to test that, if you look at your mix window, when you have the fader up, you'll see it is coming out your main outputs over here. Now, why does it sound weird? Well, now you can hear me. Oh, there's a latency that's killing me. Let me turn it off for a second. The way this works is typical audio interfaces have some sort of way of mixing on the interface itself, so you hear a zero latency or low latency monitoring. But maybe you're used to working a Pro Tools-ish setup where you hear everything as it's coming through your system. If your computer's fast enough, you can pull that off. So you come over here to your audio setup page, you bring your sample rate down to something like 64 samples. Now, when I turn this on, you can hear that there's really very little latency. Very, very little. Okay? You're also hearing my voice through my mixer right now, which is why you can hear it both times. So that's helpful for allowing you to hear what's coming through the track, whether you want to hear it or not. You have the option, okay? So for me, I use a PreSonus Studio Live. And so I can hear my voice coming directly off the board. That's what you're listening to right now, is my voice plugged in to the mixer. So when I want to record something, I just hit this. I'm not listening to this track. I'm just seeing that there's level there, and I'm recording that audio, but I'm listening to the audio from my interface. That can work the same for you if you're listening to your audio from something like your interface's built-in mixer that gives you zero latency monitoring. If that's the case, then you'll want to make it where this does not come on when you record. However, if you're recording through your interface, through Studio One, and you don't have a way of monitoring other than through the track itself, you'll want to turn your latency down and then click this button. And then now you can hear me coming through the system, okay? So it's kind of hard to explain if you're not here in my studio with me, but that just allows you to monitor. The other thing it allows you to do, I'm going to turn this down so you don't see it, hear it, is if you just want to hear what's plugged into a track without recording. Let's say you're just practicing guitar, you want to plug it into the back and just listen to it without accidentally recording it. You can click this button just to monitor that input without actually recording it. That's great for talkback tracks, for just playing along with existing tracks and things like that, where you don't need it to record anything and you don't want to waste hard drive space recording stuff. You can have it right there, just monitoring that input. Okay, so that's the difference between those two buttons. Hope that made sense for you. If not, leave a question or let me know. But otherwise, if you've done any sort of recording where you deal with latency and monitoring and playback and all that stuff, that probably makes a lot of sense to you. And that's what those two buttons are able to do for you. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.